The ends of the earth. Language focus present perfect. Simple and continuous, reading our plastic planet. Vocabulary make and do. Everyday English talking about places. Listening bucket lists, writing a formal email. 2. Take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, kill nothing but time. Alia Eniath. 1. What is the person in the photo doing? Why? How do people find their way nowadays? Does it make exploring less impressive? Why not? 2. Read the quote. What do travelers often take, leave and kill? Why is it particularly important not to do this today? Watch the video introduction. Use your workbook. For self-study. Go online for more practice and to check your progress. Language focus. Present perfect, simple and continuous. Test your grammar. 1. Why are these sentences strange? Correct them. 1. Columbus has discovered America. 2. I traveled all my life. I went everywhere. 3. I've learned English recently. 4. Ow. I've been cutting my thumb. 2. Which of these verb forms can change from simple to continuous? How does the meaning change? 1. What do you do at the weekend? 2. I don't like her boyfriend. 3. I had a shower at 7:00. 4. Someone's eaten my sandwich. Jean Barrett. French circumnavigator 1740 to 1807. Jean Barrett was the first woman to circumnavigate the globe, but she had to do it as a man. She was born in France in 1740 to a peasant family. She loved plants and became a self-taught expert on them, working as a herbalist. North America, Europe, Asia, Atlantic Ocean, Africa, Pacific Ocean, South America, Indian Ocean, Australia, all around the world. 1. Look at the pictures and read about 2 women sailors, Jean Barrett and Rika Maretnimi. Answer the questions. Were they from? Why are they both called circumnavigators? Why did people circumnavigate the globe in the 18th century? Why do you think people do it today? What have Rika's children been learning about? How? Black circle would you like to have done what they're doing? 2. Which lines below do you think go with Jean Barrett? JB. And which go with Rika Maretnimi? Room. Question mark. 1. She's been downloading educational programs and games. 2. She did hard physical work on board the ship, just like the rest of the crew. 3. After crossing the Atlantic, she sailed around South America and discovered many new plants, including bougainvillea. 5, 6, 7, 8. She's been teaching the kids about marine conservation projects and has shown him the problem of plastic pollution. She's met a lot of native people, such as the Kuna Indians of Panama. On Tahiti, a native recognized that she was a woman and told the other sailors. She's seen killer whales and dolphins. She left the ship on Mauritius and married a French sailor. She later returned to France, completing her 7-year voyage around the world. 2.1 Listen and check. What other information do you learn? Jean Barrett's route. In 1767, the French government sent 2 Navy ships to look for new lands and needed an assistant to the chief botanist, Philibert Commerson. Commerson wanted to take Barrett, but women weren't allowed in the Navy. So, Barrett dressed as a man, called herself Jean instead of Jean, and was given the job. RIIKKAMERETNIEMI Finnish circumnavigator 1973. Rika Maretnimi is an IT professional, but since 2016 she's been sailing around the world with her husband, Tuomo, the captain, and their 3 children. The crew, Ara, 7, Kertu, 5, and Marta, 3. They aim to visit 75 countries in 75 months. They set out from Turkey 2 years ago and sailed around Europe, and they've already crossed the Atlantic to Barbados. They've just passed through the Panama Canal and have recently been sailing down the coast of Ecuador. They haven't just been having exciting adventures. As well as being in charge of navigation and food, Rika has also been teaching the children. She and Tuomo want to show how digital distance learning can bring education to children in remote parts of the world. 3. Match the lines about Rika and her family in A and B. Practice saying them, paying attention to the contracted and weak forms. A. 1. She's been watching. 2. They've sailed. 3. The kids have. 4. She's baked. 5. They've been using. 6. They've been stung. 2.2 Listen and check. B. Through the Panama Canal. 10 birthday cakes on board. Sail power most of the time. By jellyfish 4 times. Out for hurricane warnings. Used 3,000 sheets of drawing paper. Language focus. 1. What tense is used most often in the text about Jean Barrett? Why? What tenses are used most often in the text about Rika Maretnimi? Why? 2. Compare the use of tenses in these sentences. 1. She's been writing emails all morning. She's written 12 emails. 2. I've read that book on ancient history. It's really interesting. I've been reading a really interesting book on ancient history. I've been reading a lot of books on ancient history. I've read 2 about ancient Greece and 3 about ancient Rome. 3. He's played tennis since he was 5. He's been playing tennis since he was 5. Right pointing arrow grammar reference 2.1 to 2.2. pp 152 to 153. We want our kids to see the world and understand how beautiful it is. As we've visited different countries, they've been learning about geography, culture, history, nature and science. They've also been speaking English everywhere they go, so learning it has become an everyday task for them. Single quote. Questions and answers. 4. Work with a partner. Decide who each question in these pairs is about, Jean Barrett or Rika Maretnimi. Then ask and answer them. 1. Did she visit many countries? Has she visited many countries? 2. How long has she been traveling around the world? How long did she travel around the world? 3. Did she cross the Atlantic? Has she crossed the Atlantic? 4. What kind of work did she do on board? What kind of work has she been doing on board? 5. Has she met any native people? Did she meet any native people? 5. Look at the answers and use the prompts to write the questions. Then ask and answer them. Jean Barrett. 1. In 1740, in France. When and where? 2. By dressing as a man. How? Get. Job in the Navy. 3. Bougainvillea. Which plant? Discover. 4. Because she felt unsafe. Why? Leave. Ship. 5. A French sailor. Who? Marry. Rika Maretnimi. 6. The Panama Canal. Which canal? Just sail through. 7. Down the Ecuadorian coast. Where? Sail recently. 8. The kids' education. What? Take care of. 9. Marine conservation projects. What? Teach them about. 10. Yes, including killer whales and dolphins. C. A lot of wildlife. 2.3 Listen and check, compare. Project. Go online and find out where the Maretnimi family are now. Can you still use the present perfect to talk about their round the world trip? Practice. Discussing grammar. 1. Choose the correct tense. 1. Before he died, Groucho Marx has said, this is no way to live. Single quote. 2. Thank you for having us. We've been having a wonderful evening. 3. TV planted, been planting 3 trees today. 4. I've found maths lessons hard recently. We've learned, been learning algebra. 5. Team really sorry. I've crashed, been crashing the car. 6. Team out of breath. I've run, been running. 7. Kara and I fell out, have fallen out, but we're friends again now. 8. I've eaten, v been eating biscuits all afternoon. I've eaten, v been eating a whole packet. Single quote. 2. Use the verbs in the past simple, present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. Discuss the reasons for using each tense with your partner. Over 500 miles yesterday. Nearly 200 miles already today. For hours without a break. Simple and continuous. Language focus. 1. Simple verb forms see actions as complete and or permanent. He works in London. It rained all night. I've run 6 miles. 2. Continuous verb forms see actions as in progress and or temporary. I'm working in Rome this week. It was raining when I got up. I've been running for nearly an hour. 3. State verbs are not usually used in the continuous. I know Peter well, and I've always liked him. Give other examples of state verbs in different tenses. Grammar reference 2.1 to 2.2. 3. Match the lines in A and B. A. 1. Martina comes. 2. Martina is coming. 3. I painted the kitchen this morning. 4. I was painting the kitchen this morning. 5. What have you done? Drive. 1. We. 2. We. 3. We. Try. 4. 5. You. Korean food. Kimchi when you were in Seoul. 6. I. To eat 5 portions of vegetables every day. 9. I've known. For the past month. 6. What have you been doing? 7. I've had. 8. I've been having. B. pp 152 to 153. A. From Slovakia. B. Round at 8:00 tonight. I'll finish it this afternoon. B. I'm going to paint the bathroom this afternoon. A. Since I last saw you. B. With the scissors. I can't find them. A. Headache all day. B. Headaches for weeks now. Are my new neighbors. 10. I've been getting to know B. Anna for over 10 years. Live. 7. My mother. In the same house since she was 11. I've cut. Born. 12. I've been cutting. 8. I. There until I left school and went to university. 9. I blank with her for the past month while I'm looking for a job. Go. 10. I can't find Sean. Blank. He. Out. 11. He. Out in his car just before you arrived. 12. He'll be in Mario's restaurant. He. There often. Recently. You look a bit pale, are you okay? My finger. It's bleeding. B. Would all morning. I don't know what's wrong. I just haven't been feeling very sluggish lately. Berry. Writing P131A formal email, an email of complaint. The story of TripAdvisor. 4. Work with a partner and discuss the questions. 1. How do you plan trips and holidays? 2. Have you ever used TripAdvisor? 3. What are the advantages and disadvantages of reviews written by hotel guests? 5. Work with your partner. Student A read the story of TripAdvisor on this page. Student B turned to page 164. Ask and answer questions to complete the missing information in the text. How long has Steve Kaufer been running the company? Since its birth, in 2000. Why did he start it? Because he couldn't. Who? Question mark. 6. Read TripAdvisor trivia. Did anything surprise you? What do you think? Can you think of ways to solve the problem of fake reviews on TripAdvisor? Which reviews do you take most notice of, the positive or the negative ones? Go on TripAdvisor and find out which are the top 10 restaurants in your hometown. Do you agree? Recommended on TripAdvisor.com. Ooh. TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor. The traveler's friend. Steve Kaufer. TripAdvisor was founded in a small office above a pizza shop in Massachusetts, US. The CEO is Steve Kaufer, and he's been running the company. Opening parenthesis. How long? Closing parenthesis. He started it because he couldn't find reliable hotel reviews when planning a trip to Mexico. They were all by hotel owners and travel agents, saying how wonderful the hotels were. Dot, dot, dot. Opening parenthesis. Who? Closing parenthesis. Suggested starting a website with reviews written by real hotel guests. She told him to keep it easy to use, and TripAdvisor has always tried to follow that advice. It has become. Dot, dot. Opening parenthesis. How big? Closing parenthesis. Reviewing hotels, restaurants and tourist attractions, and is now worth $3 billion. It has over 3,000 employees, and has received reviews from. Dot, dot. Opening parenthesis. Where? Closing parenthesis. Dot. TripAdvisor has shown that success can come by accident. The original site had only professional reviews, and it was. Dot, dot. Opening parenthesis. How long? Closing parenthesis. Before reviews from users appeared. Someone thought it might be fun to have a button on each page saying, add your own review, and it's this user-generated content that has attracted 450 million users. Success has brought. Dot, dot. Opening parenthesis. What? Closing parenthesis. However, hotel owners have become anxious about TripAdvisor feedback, because it can make or break their business, and some have offered discounts to guests. Dot, dot. Opening parenthesis. Which? Closing parenthesis. Dot. One senior executive of a big hotel group posted fake negative reviews of his rivals' hotels. TripAdvisor has been trying to solve these problems by screening all its reviews, and stresses that fake ones are a tiny minority. Go online for more. Grammar practice. TripAdvisor trivia. Have you noticed that the TripAdvisor owl logo has different color eyes? One eye is green, for go, and the other is red, for don't go. Single quote. Dot. Steve Kaufer still runs the company from a modest office block in Massachusetts, where his own office doesn't even have a window. The most TripAdvisor reviews have been written by an American expat, Brad Reynolds. He's been writing reviews since 2010 and has posted nearly 6,000, with 68,000 photos. A Planet. Reading and Speaking Our Plastic Planet. 1. The article you are going to read talks about the infinite number of plastic products that fill our lives. In groups, make a list of all the plastic products you use in a typical day. Share your list with the whole class. 2. Here are some more lines from the article. What do you think they are talking about? I realized the sandy beach was being transformed into a plastic beach. Twice the size of France, the garbage patch is like a plastic soup in the sea. They are being gobbled up by small fish, which, in turn, are eaten by larger fish, which in turn are eaten by us. We need to spurn and reject the main culprits. 3. Read through the article quickly. Answer the questions. 1. Who is Simon Reeve? 2. Which products from your list in 1 are mentioned? 3. Which of your ideas about the lines in 2 were correct? Which were not? 4. Which places in the world are mentioned? 5. What are nurdles? 4. Read the article again. Are these statements true or false? X. Correct the false ones. 1. Hawaii is protected from rubbish because of its position in the Pacific Ocean. 2. Volunteers clear the nurdles from the beaches. 3. The sea makes the nurdles smaller and smaller. 4. By 2025, 600,000 tons of plastic rubbish will be polluting our seas. 5. Factories are reducing the amount of plastics they produce. 6. There are 3 major ways that plastic is ruining our planet. 7. Most of the plastic garbage is made up of plastic bags, bottles and packaging. 8. Bangladesh and Modbury have something in common. 24. Unit 2. The ends of the earth. From Hawaiian beaches to the coast of Britain, we're paying a lethal price for our throwaway society, says TV adventurer Simon Reeve. Hawaii is generally considered to be one place in the world where you should be able to guarantee finding paradise. The beautiful tropical islands have been used as the setting for countless TV series and films, ranging from Lost to Jurassic Park. Isolated in the middle of the vast Pacific Ocean, distance alone should protect Hawaii's spectacular landscapes and turquoise sea from the environmental problems facing the rest of the planet. So when I arrived in Hawaii, I was staggered to discover beaches covered in plastic rubbish washed up from around the world. Pristine sand was covered by old plastic toothbrushes, combs, shoes, belts, and moldings. Sam Gon, a Hawaiian conservationist, took me to one beach where 70 local volunteers were doing their best to remove tons of garbage. But as soon as it was cleaned, the waves dumped another mountain of rubbish. The larger pieces of waste can be collected by hand. But when Sam and I dropped to our knees, I could see the surface of the beach was covered with millions of small plastic pellets, known as nurdles. These are the raw material that factories use to form the infinite number of plastic products that fill our lives. These are dumped out of factories into our seas in their trillions. Yet the big shock came when Sam told me to dig in the sand. Plastic doesn't biodegrade. Instead, it breaks down into even smaller pieces. Among the grains of sand were billions of tiny plastic flecks, which the pounding of the sea was reducing in size. As I dug through the plastic, I realized the sandy beach was being transformed into a plastic beach. A chill went down my spine. Small plastic pellets, known as nurdles. From the beaches of Hawaii to the seas around Britain, we are soiling our own nest. It was a shock to realize how much British beaches have changed since I was a child playing on beautiful coastlines in Dorset and South Wales. Just like those in Hawaii, they are now covered in more litter than ever before. Poisoned by plastic. www. Fren. Since 1994, plastic litter has increased by an extraordinary 140%. The plastic we see on our beaches is just a fraction of the plastic waste that is clogging our oceans. Incredibly, all the plastic ever created, totaling hundreds of millions of tons, is still out there in the environment in some form. There are an estimated 600,000 plastic containers dumped overboard by ships every single day. 9 million tons of plastic enter our seas every year, which means that by 2025, there will be around 150 million tons of it sloshing around. And even more unbelievably, by 2050 the oceans will contain more plastic by weight than fish. The scale of the problem is extraordinary. The beaches in Hawaii are being swamped by rubbish from the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a vast accumulation of the world's plastic debris floating in the Pacific Ocean. Twice the size of France, the garbage patch is like a plastic soup in the sea and is doubling in size each decade. And this is not the only such patch. Scientists believe that sea currents have created 5 vast swirling garbage patches in our oceans, including a huge one in the North Atlantic with up to 520,000 bits of rubbish per square mile. This is an international scandal and a global problem, for which we are all responsible. Eastern, Western rubbish patch, rubbish patch, Pacific Ocean. Factories produced more plastic in the first decade of this 21st century than in the entire 20th century. From bicycle helmets to food packaging, from water bottles to toothbrushes, plastic makes our lives easier. But its production and use are completely out of control. Factories produced more plastic in the first decade of this 21st century than in the entire 20th century. Because tiny fragments of plastic in our oceans are so small and look like food, they are being gobbled up by small fish, which in turn are eaten by larger fish, which in turn are eaten by us. Plastic is ruining our beaches, choking the oceans, and poisoning our food chain. The consequences are still not fully understood, but they are likely to be devastating. We need to spurn and reject the main culprits. Plastic bags, packaging, and single-use water bottles are wasteful obscenity. These make up the bulk of plastic garbage. In Bangladesh and Kenya, they have done away with plastic bags completely and replaced them with natural jute bags. The UK has joined the growing number of countries which impose a tax on plastic bags, and the small town of Modbury has banned them completely. Supermarkets around the world are beginning to introduce plastic-free aisles, where none of the goods on sale are packaged in plastic. At stake is the future of beaches, our seas, and the food chain. It is nothing short of an environmental emergency. What do you think? Give your personal reactions to the text. Use these phrases. I didn't know, I already knew that. ... What surprised me was ... It's incredible that ... It's a shame that ... I wonder what can be done to ... Do you believe plastic is causing an environmental emergency? Are there other things that are more harmful to the environment than plastic? What? What could you do to reduce your use of plastics? Vocabulary. 5. How many words meaning rubbish can you find in the article? 6. Discuss the meaning of the highlighted words in the article. 7. Match the words in A and B. Use them in sentences. A. B. 1 turquoise 2 infinite. A number. 3 grains of 4 food. 5 mountain of. 6 sea. 7 single use. 8 throw away. B water bottles. C chain. D society. E currents. F sea. G rubbish. H sand. Watch a video about an initiative to get everyone to help clean up the world we live in. Listening and speaking. Bucket lists. 1. What is a bucket list? How is the phrase connected with the idiom to kick the bucket? 2. Look at the bucket list. Which of the activities in the list can you see in photos AF? 3. On a website called Ranker, 5,000 people ranked the activities. Put a cross X against the 10 activities you think were most popular. Which do you think came first, second and third? Compare with a partner. Check your answers on page 166. 42.4 Listen to 3 people, Helen, Keith and Judy, talking about doing activities from the bucket list. Answer the questions for each person. 1. Which activity are they talking about? 2. Why did they decide to do it? 3. How did the experience affect them? 5. Answer the questions with H. Helen, K. Keith, or J. Judy. More than one is possible. Who? A. Bucket list. Things to do before I die. Swim with dolphins, find a career I love, learn to meditate, donate blood. Go zip lining, run a 5K race, write a novel. Go skydiving. Go snorkeling on the Great Barrier Reef, get fit and feel good about your body, bathe in the hot springs in Iceland, learn to play a musical instrument, walk on the Great Wall of China, do a road trip across America, go horse riding on the beach, visit the Galapagos Islands. 1 mentions the cost. 2 was worried beforehand. Why? 3 had a disappointment at first. What? 4 thought about changing their mind and not doing it. Why? 5 had the experience twice. 6 talks about the weather. What about it? 7 mentions a sound. What was it? 8 says that time slowed down. 9 is planning to do it again. Hand J. Learn to ballroom dance, see the Northern Lights, experience zero gravity. Learn a new language. B. 2.4 Listen again and check, complete your answers. C. D. Spoken English fillers. Fillers give us time to think of what to say next. Spoken English fillers. Fillers give us time to think of what to say next. We stayed in a tree house, well, a kind of tree hotel. Dot, 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 dot. Because, I mean, it's a shock to see this, like, massive hole where the door usually is. Common fillers in English are, well, you know, like, I mean, you see, kind of. Sort of, anyway, so. Find examples in AudioScript 2.4 on page 144. 6. Which 5 of the activities would be top of your bucket list? In what order? Write a list and add a 6th item. 7. Compare your lists in groups. Can you agree on 3 activities to do as a group? E. F. Vocabulary make and do. 1. There are many expressions with make and do. Look at these examples. Plastic makes our lives easier. Black circle bags and bottles make up most of the garbage. Black circle 70 local volunteers were doing their best to remove tons of garbage. Black circle in Bangladesh, they have done away with plastic bags completely. 2. Put the words in the correct column. Business. A good impression arrangements. A difference. A profit, a loss research. A decision. Your best. A suggestion, a good job. A start, a move. Be a favor. A degree south clear. An effort. Make. A good impression. Do. 3. Complete the sentences with expressions from 2. 1. When you go for a job interview, it's important to. 2. I think we're all tired, so can I. 3. A lot of. Question mark. How about a break? Has been. Into the causes of cancer. 4. Italy's an important market for us, we. A lot of. There. 5. I know you don't like my mother, but you could at least. To be nice to her. 6. We need to have this room painted by lunchtime, so we should. 7. I don't mind if we go by train or bus. It. 8. Could you? No. And lend me £10? 2.5. Listen and check. Me. To me. Now. 4. Match the lines in A and B. Underline expressions with make or do. Alpha. B. 1. Restaurant reviews can do a lot of damage. 2. We'll never make the airport in time. 3. What do you do for a living? 4. We'll have to do even more overtime. 5. Can we make the cake with this plain flour? Single quote. 6 feet 1. Here you've done a Spanish course. Single quote. 7. So, the boss said you'd done a great job. Single quote. Yes. I can just about make myself understood now. B. I'm in PR. I do interviews and make speeches. Yeah, that'll do fine. D. Yes. It really made my day. E. We're doing about 10 miles an hour in this traffic. F. They can make or break the business. G. Well, that does it. I'm going to resign. 2.6. Listen and check. What extra comment do they make? Phrasal verbs. 5. Replace the phrases in italics with a phrasal verb with make. Make south up, make up for south, make of SB, make off with south. 1. Thieves broke into the gallery and stole 3 priceless paintings. 2. Jake's parents are always buying him toys. They're trying to compensate for not spending enough time with him. 3. What do you think of Carol's new boyfriend? I quite like him. 4. I don't believe his story. I think he invented the whole thing. 2.7. Listen and check. 6. Do the same with phrasal verbs with do. Do away with do without south, could do with south, do south up. 1. I'm thirsty. I really fancy a cup of tea. 2. We've bought an old farmhouse. We're going to renovate it. 3. We should abolish the royal family. They're a waste of money. 4. I could never manage without my personal assistant. She organizes everything for me. 2.8. Listen and check. Wealth. Love life. Ma. This just isn't doing it for me. Could we go back to using the crystal ball? Single quote. Go online for more vocabulary practice. Everyday English talking about places. Where is it exactly? 1. Look at the ways of describing location. What preposition goes with each group of phrases? The middle of nowhere. The suburbs. 1. The far south of Japan. The heart of the countryside. The outskirts of Paris. The corner of Brook Street. 2. The south coast. That's not what the hotel website said. Single quote. 4. Read the two descriptions of the same hotel complex. Who wrote them? Where would you find them? Complete them with the words in the boxes. 50 minutes 360 degree 20 square 14 night 4 bedroom. Enjoyer. Inner 2. Have. Stay in our magnificent hotel complex, set mile area of coastal Parkland. Our luxury suites views of the surrounding area, and access to our villas on a self-catering. Private beach. Also available a 4_ basis. All this just a drive from the airport. The River Thames. A crossroads. The bottom of the hill. 3. The end of the track. The side of the road. 22.9 Listen to 4 people talking about places they have been to. Where are they talking about? 32.9 Listen again and complete the lines. 1. They stand just. I kind of expected him to be right. Desert. Dot. Dot. Building. Dot. 2. There's a viewing terrace right. 3. We were staying. 4. It's a magnificent white building, right. 5-star 30-mile-an-hour 100-meter tall 2-hour 5-minute. Reviewed the 7th of September. City. Dot. Dot. Big disappointment. River. Dot. Dot. I loved the old, colorful streets. City. Spoken English adding emphasis. Look at the sentences in 3 again. Notice how right, just and very add emphasis. Use them to complete this description. We rented a flat in the center of town. The Grand Canal was at the end of the street. It was wonderful to be in the heart of the city. Go online for more speaking practice. Don't believe the description on the hotel website, it's totally misleading. Our expectations of luxury accommodation were certainly not met. The rooms were tiny. The suggested travel time to and from the airport was wildly inaccurate. There's a speed limit on most of the roads and the traffic was terrible, which meant it was nearly a journey both ways. Although the view from our suite could have been impressive, the hotel failed to mention the wind turbines all along the coast, which completely ruined it. And we assumed that access to our private beach would mean it was right by the hotel and a stroll. It was actually about half an hour's walk away. 10. 5. Work in groups. Where do you think would be a good place to do these things? Use some of the expressions in 1 and 4. Black Circle have a holiday home. Black Circle spend a relaxing weekend. Black Circle have a picnic escape from the world for a month. I'd love to have a 4-bedroom holiday home on the edge of a forest, in the heart of the Scottish countryside.